Hello guys, I just finished playing Poppy Playtime 5. You can check out my video linked in the description. And today, I'll be sharing thoughts on the chapter. Now, this chapter has been receiving a lot of controversy lately. People either think it's good or bad, with no in between. I personally had a very fun experience playing the game, but that doesn't mean it has no problems. Taking a look at Chapters 3, 4, and 5. They are all different in their own ways. Chapter 4 is sort of a chaos theme, Chapter 5 is about puzzles and puzzle chases, and Chapter 3 is horror. The type of suspense horror that makes you shiver at every creepy moment. That's why people love Chapter 3, because it is well-paced and scary. Chapter 4 does okay at horror, but is really bad on the pacing and balance. Almost half of the game is making it to safe haven while doing repetitive, glitchy puzzles. Some people like Chapter 5's pacing, while some people don't. The same goes to the horror. Chapter 5 is really good looking, but not all that scary. And it doesn't match with the level of horror in Chapter 3. That's why people either like Chapter 5 or they don't. None of the chapter's jump scares are truly that scary, and the chases are questionable. Specifically in the Lily Lovebraids chase, you had very little time to look for things, as you needed to crouch and do some minor puzzles while Lily is close behind. Not only that, but if you take too long in the parts where she isn't chasing you, which happens all the time in this game, she starts counting down from 5, and if she reaches 1, you are dead, making the Lily chase and prototype chase mostly trial and error, with checkpoints every room. It makes it less enjoyable with you dying constantly and restarting exactly where you died. The Huggy chases, on the other hand, are some of the most enjoyable chases I've ever played. They're scary with Huggy always behind you, and fun with hand scanners and doors, where if you take too long, Huggy gets you. It gives you way more time to think than Lily's chase, and whenever you have to do a puzzle, Huggy isn't really chasing you. Also, shout out to the Huggy Wuggy projector puzzle, because it is the most brilliant hide from monster puzzle I've ever done in all gaming. So, with the horror being good and bad, what about the pacing? Well, that's where things get interesting. It starts off with a high-stakes chase, and then a light puzzle with the Outimals, and then you meet Giblet. This is where things start to go south, as you are tasked with some confusing puzzles that are fun, but you can get stuck on. This isn't a huge problem, as you can still have fun with it, but it is still a bit annoying. After the 3 Huggy memories, which were fine, and the beautiful Huggy Wuggy projector fight, there is a van you need to power on 3 times in 3 different rooms. Now, I hate this part. There are 3 well-designed maps that can be so fun with puzzles, but instead of you doing that, you just get electricity and instantly go back to sitting and waiting till the van gets to the next room, rinse and repeat. Couldn't it have just been 1 room, really? It doesn't get better in Lily's house. I got stuck on the stupid movable wall puzzles that was so boring and long that I cut the entire section of Lily's house out of my gameplay video. It's specifically the piano puzzles. The whole game there is collectibles and documents and tapes that are just lore, but they have good lore and good story. Players need to do puzzles for some of them. Players don't work for the notes, but they explain the story of 2 antagonists, Lily and the literal prototype. The best story of a character ever, just hidden in the shadows of collectibles that no one reads. The prototype story is so good, and I hate that people don't know it, because it's just locked behind paper, digital paper, that no one gets. So when you have to check the note you got in Lily's house that tells you the code for the piano to progress in the game, how are we supposed to know to check our inventory if so far it's just been random lore that we don't want to read? And after the prototype's excellent reveal that, really guys, it couldn't have been done better. I mean, it is just absolute cinema. The puzzles after that are just grueling and repetitive. I wish instead of making puzzles, they could have done something like they did in Chapter 4 with the Nightmare Critters coming back for one more fight. They should have done that for the Altimals, rather than just using them one at a time at the start. Also, Chum is so useless of a character. He gets around, 5 minutes of screen time in the 3-hour-long game. In conclusion, Chapter 5 was an enjoyable game, and then in the end, it started to get a bit repetitive. But even though there was so much hate on the Lily Chase, and the Prototype Chase, and the pacing and the puzzles, I still found this chapter so fun and cool. I haven't mentioned it yet, but the ending with the Doctor was brilliant, and I couldn't love it or this chapter more. This was a fun game, even if it isn't and wasn't perfect. Also, subscribe and I'll post a video talking about Chapter 5's ending and Chapter 6, The All-Seeing Eye.